welcome to the channel. In this video, we are going to be looking at butt chisels. First, we're going to talk about what is a butt chisel, and then we are going to compare the Veritas and the Blue Spruce butt chisel. Stick with me. So first, what is a butt chisel? Well, it's a small chisel. So this one, for example, I had found this at like an antique store or a flea market or whatever, got a handle, stuck it in there, and then I was able to do detail work with it. I would use it for inlays, cleaning out the sides of dovetails when I really needed to get in close and be detailed with things. Sometimes I would actually use the Veritas mini chisels, but the only issue with those is I can't really beat on them like I could with this one if I needed to. Then I discovered that manufacturers actually make small chisels and call them butt chisels. So that's what they are. To give you a size comparison, here they are next to their big brothers, or I guess their full-size bench chisels. So with the Blue Spruce, as you can see, it's mainly just a shortened blade. With the Veritas, it is a shortened handle and a shortened blade. So what I'm liking about these is you can, again, do all of that detail work, but I'm finding myself reaching for this more and more because it's just easier. You're right there with the workpiece. It's comfortable to be that close, and I feel like I'm more accurate with it. The cool thing about the Blue Spruce in particular is the handle's resin infused. So if you needed to, you can beat on this handle and you don't have to worry about it. The Veritas, the handle is torrefied maple. I have heard of some people busting their handles, so I guess maybe be a little bit more comfortable with these ones. I did do a video that's looking at the Veritas and the Blue Spruce bench chisels. We also included the Lie-Nielsen bench chisel in that. Lie-Nielsen does not make butt chisels, but what you can do with theirs is pop the handle off. The only issue with that is you don't want to beat on this, and it's not comfortable to hold on to. So that's something to keep in mind. So as I said, butt chisels I'm reaching for more and more now when I need to do detail work. I mean, obviously you're not going to be pairing with this chisel because it's not long enough. That's when you can reach for your bench chisel if you need the reach to go across the work surface longer, or you need a longer reference area. But for this one, like cutting out hinges or shallow mortises or just cleaning up the sides of something, it's really, really comfortable to use, and I'm really liking being super close to the workpiece. But alright, let's go ahead and compare these two side by side, so that way if you're trying to make a decision, we can help you out. First things first is the handle and the comfort of the handle. If you guys watched the other video, I talked about how important comfort is in woodworking tools. I am a huge proponent of make sure whatever tool you're using is comfortable. If it's uncomfortable, you are less likely to reach for that tool to use and might find a workaround versus just using that tool. The other thing is, if it is comfortable in your hand, you're going to be more accurate with it. For example, with this chisel, to me this is more comfortable than the Veritas because of the way that it fits in my hand. Everything just rests perfectly, and it has the reference point, so when I am getting really detailed, it's right there. The cool thing with this butt chisel is you can wrap the bottom of your palm. I don't know if you can, there we go. If you can see that right there, so if I need to push with it, it's already nestled into my palm. I don't have to rearrange my hand or anything like that to get the pushing motion. It's right there. With the Veritas, the handle is just a little bit too big to do that. I mean, we're talking such a slight difference, but that matters for my hand size. To be able to fit it here and try to push, I have to readjust my hand to be able to get it to push off of this, like, meaty part of your hand. The other thing with this is this handle, like I mentioned, is resin infused, so it gives it a little bit more weight, which helps balance this tool more than this one does. This one, even though this blade is smaller than that, it's very blade heavy, and the handle is so light that it doesn't feel as balanced in my hand as this one does. Now, I know one of the things that people are going to think about and talk about is you don't have as much life in these chisels. But what you have to remember is, I mean, just look at vintage chisels. This one has been used for so long that it's now this short. These chisels are going to last your lifetime unless you keep messing up sharpening and keep having to go to the grinder. But if you're sharpening like normal, doing a secondary, and then every once in a while regrinding the bevel, these are going to last your lifetime. You don't have to worry about that. Maybe if you're a professional, that like this is your only chisel and you use this all day, every day, different story. But I guess what I'm trying to say, don't worry about the life of these chisels. They are going to last a very long time, and you will get your money's worth out of both. The next thing is these chisels coming to a point on the sides. I tried to show you guys this in video, but I can't. Well, actually, right there. See the light on the side there and how there's no light here? So the Veritas goes to an exact point where the blue Spruce does not go to an exact point. But with the Veritas, after you lap the bottom of this and you go to use the chisel, you will cut your fingers. I've done it before. I've heard of many people doing it before. So what you have to do is lap the back and then take the additional step of easing that side off so you don't cut your fingers. Blue Spruce, it goes to a very, very narrow point, almost like it did go to a point, and then they just ease that over for you so you don't have to worry about it. So to me, that's another bonus of this chisel, that it goes to just enough of a point, but not enough that it's actually going to cut you. So right out of the box, the Blue Spruce was able to shave hairs and the back. Oh, let me clean it off. The back has a mirror. I think you guys saw that when I was taking them out of the box, but there you go. So back has a mirror if I could find the camera. So I just think that that's cool. I know that it doesn't affect like the longevity and the lifetime of the tool, but the fact that you know that when you buy this tool, you can grab it right out of the box and use it, that's a huge bonus. When it comes to the Veritas, they tell you that you need to take them out of the box and hone them. And what I've been hearing from other people after doing these videos, I did one comparing the Veritas to the Richter, and the Veritas right out of the box took edge damage to where it took a big chip. And what people were telling me is that you actually have to buy these, grind back a certain ways, and then rehone it, and then it's ready to use. So that's a huge downside. If you found otherwise, let me know, because I haven't done all the tests and stuff like that to figure it out. That's just what I've heard. The other thing with these is they have this material on the back. I don't know what it is, but it's this gray thing, and they tell you not to lap the backs because that's a rust preventative. But what I've learned is that increases the resistance. If you can see that I'm putting pressure down, it's increasing the resistance versus that. So I don't know any way to show you guys that, but I know in using these chisels, it feels like they have more resistance versus this chisel. Edge retention for these chisels, I would say that they are comparable. I believe they both hold an edge as long as the other one does, which is what I'm surprised by, because this is PMV11. They're supposed to hold an edge longer, but I feel like they are comparable, maybe a couple swipes off, leaning the Veritas way. The biggest difference is when it comes to sharpening them. So I found with the Blue Spruce, I can just strop it and get back to work. When it comes to the Veritas, I need to hit the stone, strop it, and then go back to work. So I don't know. I like the idea of just grabbing this, stropping it, and moving on. But with this one, I found stone, strop, move on. So blade length and the Veritas just being slightly longer than the Blue Spruce. If you have to grind these blades back a certain ways, that's going to change the life of this. Again, I don't mean to say it life. You don't have to worry about the life of these. They're going to last you a long time. I just mean the length of it. I like that the Blue Spruce blade is smaller because these are supposed to be for up close detail work. So I like that they went with a smaller blade on these ones. This one, it's just a little bit longer to me. I know eventually it'll get to be shorter, but I guess just right out of the box, that's my opinion. So those are butt chisels, in case you were wondering. As I had mentioned, I have used that vintage one for quite a while, so I'm excited to have like a quality one. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the vintage one. It worked, but it's different when you have a Blue Spruce or a Veritas in your hand. So if you guys notice that in your woodwork, there's a couple times where it would just be nice to have a smaller chisel to get up close and do that detail work, check out the butt chisels. If you did watch the other video, you know that I already decided to go with the Blue Spruce one for two main reasons. The first one is comfort. The handle fits better in my hand. I like that it's resin infused, so it's more balanced. And then the other thing is just the ease of sharpening it. They hold their edges comparably well enough. But with the Blue Spruce, I could just hit a strop and get back to work. With the PMV11, I feel like I need to hit a stone, a strop, and then get back to work. You will be happy with both. I will say that. But if we are looking at the finer details, Blue Spruce is the way I decided to go. Price-wise, they're pretty close. So the Veritas is $83.50 and the Blue Spruce is $90. Now, of course, the price differs depending on the size. I believe I went with half-inch sizes when I was comparing the prices. What I need to figure out now is if I want to go with a full set of the butt chisels and then just keep these two bench chisels as like for pairing operations and stuff, because I'm really liking how close I can get to the work and how detailed it is. I'm finding out that I'm way more accurate versus being farther back from the blade. So we'll see. You guys will find out because they'll be in my background, but that's something that I have to think about. A little comparison for that is for the blue Spruce bench chisel, it's $100. Their butt chisel is $90. For the Veritas bench chisel, it's $95.50. For their butt chisel, it's $83.50. So that would save me a couple bucks if I go with the butt chisel route, but I don't know that I want to keep saying butt chisel that often. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, any comments, anything like that, feel free to let us know down below. If you guys have a butt chisel or you made the decision, picked one, whatever, let us know. Adios. Butt chisel.